To have another baby, which people don't know. And, but in the eyes of the media, I've disappeared. It's literally like, where's she gone?
Red wine at dinner, you never get heart disease. I love this. I mean, does this sound similar to your situation?
Yes, it does.
Oprah Winfrey's reputation has taken a hit due to her close friendships with numerous high-profile rapists and pedophiles.
Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh,
Oprah?
absolutely introvert.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is really interesting.
Back in the 90s, Susan Powter was everywhere. TV, best-selling books, fitness programs. She was bold, outspoken, and unfiltered, and people loved her for it. But seemingly overnight, she vanished from the mainstream spotlight. For years, rumors swirled about what really happened to her career. Now, shocking allegations suggest that Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential media moguls of all time, may have played a significant role in shutting her down. As Powter speaks out, the story that emerges is one of power, control, and what happens when you challenge the wrong people in Hollywood.
Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh,
Oprah?
absolutely introvert.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is really interesting to talk about.
An introvert with the appearance of being extroverted.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's interesting, a lot of people think that I'm an extrovert in my job because I have to meet lots of people and engage with communities across the country. But the truth is I'm an introvert too, and have always been my whole life. And for people who are introverts, you need more time in solitude. So what is solitude? Well, solitude is a state of welcome aloneness. We're by ourselves, there aren't other people around us, but we don't feel sad. We don't feel like something is missing or lacking
in
our lives. And in fact,
don't feel bored. Many times Gail will call me and say, what are you doing? Sitting with your thoughts? Because many times I'll say, oh, I'm just being with my thoughts. And she'll go, what are you doing? Sitting with your thoughts? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am. Yeah. I don't feel like the need to have to talk to anybody or do anything or prove anything.
Susan Powter wasn't just a fitness guru. She was a revolutionary. She rejected traditional dieting culture and exposed the toxic lies being sold to women about weight loss. Her direct, no-nonsense approach made her a household name, but it also made her powerful enemies. Her fearless approach to self-help and fitness resonated with millions, but not everyone was thrilled about what she had to say.
To have another baby, which people don't know. And, but in the eyes of the media, I've disappeared. It's literally like, where's she gone? And I had another baby and wrote what I wanted to write and said what I wanted to say based on what is happening right now, what is happening with millions and millions and millions of people's biochemistry. Just so everybody knows that. I mean, what, a mother doesn't work? I mean, I've been a single mother for the last 21 years. When we go back to our intuitive wisdom, women can feel that everything is wrong, like everything is wrong. Like you're not supposed to not have a minute in your own life. You're not supposed to be eating foods that glow in the dark. Your kid is not supposed to be staring at, at TV and video games. It's just wrong because it wasn't designed by us. We would never have designed this disaster called the systems of this world. So forget about all of that. Let's just get women to the point where they can get lean, strong, and healthy. When they do get lean, strong, and healthy, your brain and your body, because the two are connected, no matter how much, how many billions of dollars the AMA has spent trying to convince you otherwise.
Like many in the public eye, Susan Powter was open about her struggles, including her past battle with alcoholism. But could this personal history have been weaponized against her? Some speculate that the media used her past as an excuse to discredit her, framing her as unstable and unreliable. But if that was the case, who was pulling the strings?
Take 2 glasses of red wine at dinner, you never get heart disease. I love this. I mean, does this sound similar to your situation?
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna ask you to go out on a limb with me here. I'm not asking you to cut your hair like mine. When do you label yourself an alcoholic?
I was using it too much.
I love this.
I would drink in the morning. I would drink during the afternoon and in the...
I really do want to start a garden one day.
My mother died of cancer. Our daughter came down with cancer.
Could you imagine me at 2 o'clock in the morning eating cereal and thinking, my husband comes in and goes, whoa.
I was drinking daily.
You know the best thing to do? Buy some corn.
I drink.
Once in a while, have a dessert.
What you just said is absolutely right.
I can do and say whatever I want, can I?
I was in a bookstore looking at several of the books.
You can't trust these crackers.
It was like a woman shopping for, for produce.
Susan Powter has never been one to stay silent, and now she's speaking out once again. She's exposing the forces that tried to shut her down, revealing the truth behind her mysterious disappearance from mainstream media. What she's revealing now about Oprah and the industry's gatekeepers is shocking, and it's a story that many believe needed to be told years ago.
Diseased body and your toxic body and your, I've done this a million times, blah body. The fitness industry is as stupid as you get. Or the diet industry, enemy. Fitness industry, enemy. Private training industry, enemy. Insurance boys, the pharmaceutical boys, all of them. The government boys, the lobbying boys, the this boys, the that boys, the boys that make the medicines and the plastic and the chemical boy. You're all inventing it. Back in the day, when the school nurse found out that your child was dairy-free, ooh. When the discussions of weight loss are being discussed, I would like the biochemical reality of oxygen put in there. One woman said, well, according to a study done by, they found that neurons in the heart actually do. That's working for the white man right there. He's fat. Very. Don't listen, don't listen, don't listen, don't listen. Don't listen to me. I didn't say he wasn't a good guy. What I said is the way you talk to your daughter is disgusting. There are no real conversations going on anywhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? Andre, they're dead. Because you're fat does not mean that I am different. I have taken the actions of eating, breathing, and moving and thinking daily. Here it is right here. Breed lifestyle. You breed. I'm talking about resurrection from the dead. Well, that's a hell of a statement, isn't it? Yep. To sit up, to lift, to bend, to schlep, to go, to do, to ba. I said today to a woman, how are you going to stand when you can't even stand? How are you going to stand when you can't even stand?
Oprah Winfrey has been praised for her ability to elevate voices and shape cultural conversations. But not everyone believes her influence has always been used for good. She's been accused of silencing people, controlling narratives, and ensuring that those who challenge her don't get to keep their platforms. Is it possible that Susan Powter's rise and sudden fall had something to do with Oprah making sure she was no longer a threat?
Oprah Winfrey's reputation has taken a hit due to her close friendships with numerous high-profile rapists and pedophiles. But she's about to lose a whole lot more, according to investigators, who revealed that the billionaire media tycoon is about to be thrown under the bus and prosecuted on child trafficking charges. Oprah isn't the only member of the global VIP elite facing charges. A whole host of household names, including Bill Gates, mainstream media figures, and members of the US House and Senate, are currently sweating as the walls close in on them. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community and support the channel, and visit collective.thepeoplesvoice.tv to claim a stake in the channel, earn profits, and have a say in what we do. Is America's first African-American billionaire actually the world's most prolific pimp?
One of the biggest criticisms of Oprah has been the idea that she has the power to make or break someone's career. She has even openly admitted to believing that people's unhappiness is tied to envy, a statement that many found tone-deaf coming from someone with immense privilege. If Oprah saw Susan Powter as a competitor or a disruptor of her brand, did she use her influence to erase her?
Why do you think we're in a happiness slump in America?
Ooh, I will tell you, one of the most profound reasons, I think, is because everybody is looking at other people's social media, what they believe to be other people's lives, which is only a snapshot of other people's lives, and feeling envy about that. And one of the things that Arthur and I talk about in this book is that envy is the great destroyer.
The happiness killer.
It is the happiness killer. And so anytime you're looking at anything else with envy, you have already killed your own happiness or your ability to be happier in that moment and probably in moments to come.
Oprah has been a media powerhouse for decades, but recently the tide seems to be turning. More people in Hollywood are calling her out, questioning her actions, and even suggesting that she should be held accountable for some of the narratives she's controlled. If Oprah was behind the downfall of Susan Powter, could this be part of a bigger pattern of silencing those who don't align with her image?
This is another take on Oprah and Oprah Winfrey is a slave trader.
What?
Why do you think she has that school in South Africa? Why does she hang out with who she hangs out with?
Stop it right now. Really? Stop it right now. Stop it right now. She was at...
Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations with some controversial men.
But even with as hard as it may be, Oprah takes the scandal game to the next level, as the television diva has been repeatedly caught up in a series of less than ideal situations. And one thing that has been constant about these situations she's been in is that they usually involve another party. To drive my point, let's take her relationship with Harvey Weinstein, for example. Winfrey and Weinstein have had a professional relationship that stretches back 2 decades. There are many photographs of her kissing and hugging the mogul at awards ceremonies and events sponsored by the Weinstein Company. She has starred in and produced movies that his company distributed, including The Butler and The Great Debaters. For those who may not know, Harvey Weinstein is an American filmmaker who rose to become the face of an abuser for the #MeToo movement. Per the news, 5 years ago, the story that had long been whispered in the halls of agencies and studios, as well as on film and television sets, finally became public. A series of bombshell articles revealed that Harvey Weinstein harassed and assaulted dozens of women for decades and used his power to bully them into silence. Susan Powter wasn't just another fitness expert, she was a disruptor. She called out the industries that profited off of keeping people unhealthy and unhappy. She rejected traditional beauty standards, diet culture, and the marketing machine that told women they were never good enough. In an industry where Oprah has built her brand on being the trusted voice for self-help, was Powter simply too real to be allowed to continue? And if so, how many others has Oprah silenced over the years? Susan Powter isn't the only high-profile figure who has had tension with Oprah. Michael Jackson at one point famously ignored her, leading many to believe there was tension between them. Was Oprah's influence behind some of the narratives that later followed him? And if she had the power to control his public image, what did that mean for someone like Susan Powter?
Gotta sing it. Yeah. And when you are, for instance, when we were here before, you know what? I mean, all the things ever printed in the tabloid, the only thing's ever been true is when they said I couldn't dance. It doesn't seem to matter, you were like in between shots, running off, conceiving the dance, choreographing the dance. You were up all night dancing.
Oprah has built an empire based on her ability to influence and educate, but she once admitted something shocking. She saw herself as the least experienced person. If even she admits to not being the expert people think she is, why does she hold so much power over who gets to have a voice?
Look at this table.
Powter's disappearance from mainstream media was no accident. It was a calculated move. Whether Oprah directly played a role in it or not, the reality is that Powter's message was too disruptive, too raw, and too real for an industry built on selling illusions of empowerment. As she speaks out once again, the world is listening. And this time, it looks like she's not going to let anyone silence her. The real question is, how many others have faced the same fate? And will more voices start coming forward now that Oprah's grip on media is being questioned? One thing is certain, Susan Powter is done being quiet.